There's no news coming out of the Carolina Panthers facility right now. Panther fans, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Relax. Pour the metaphorical drink, kick up your metaphorical feet, and enjoy the metaphorical sunset in front of you. Enjoy it. The coaching carousel is turning, and you're not on it. First time in multiple off seasons, you're not on it. If it's a literal carousel, you get to be the parent that won the rock, paper, scissors. You get to stand off to the side, lean on the railing, and take pictures and laugh while your spouse is up there, sitting on a tiny little horse going up and down so your kids can have a good time. Let the Jacksonville Jaguars look ridiculous. Right? Let the Cowboys be the circus act everybody's taking pictures of and laughing at years later. Remember on vacation when the Cowboys got on the carousel? They were on the orange horse. Just chill. The actual advantage is for the Panthers. The reason why you should actually be excited is it's a pace thing. It's a calendar thing. You get to prepare for the big moments of the offseason at a natural pace rather than rushing. When you hire a new coach in an offseason, everything is in fast forward from that point forward. Everything is go, 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 go. Hire your coordinators. All right, decide what your system's going to be. All right, decide which players on your roster are going to stick around and fit your system. Decide what you want to do with your draft pick. Decide what you want to do in free agency. Decide if you should trade. Decide if this. Decide if that. By the way, where are you going to live? By the way, who's going to be your director of football operations? Oh, actually, you don't get to pick that. The GM gets to pick that. Go, 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 go. What are you going to do differently? What are you going to do the same? The Jets, Bears, Raiders, Jags, Cowboys, and even the Patriots, who have their guy, will be rushing this offseason. The Panthers have to enjoy, appreciate, and take advantage of being on a regular schedule. Their draft, their free agency, should be the most well-researched and best prepared for draft and free agency that the Panthers have had since the 2022 offseason. That was the last time an offseason for the Panthers had a coach that finished the previous year as head coach and started the next year as head coach, and it was Matt Rule.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things packed into off seasons when you're throwing in figuring everything else out.
And last time they had the same GM, head coach, and quarterback all coming back was 2018 going into 2019.
Think of all the time.
It's a long time ago.
But think of all the time spent every offseason on figuring out quarterback, figuring out head coach, figuring out GM, and I mean it's quite literally like if you have a massive backyard, and it takes you an hour to 2 hours, 3 hours to mow it. Once you live in that house for 10 years, you're like, do you realize I could be like a black belt or something if I just took all the time I spent mowing this lawn and went and learned a hobby? The Panthers' hobby over the last, what'd you say, 2018?
2018 into 2019.
Since at least we'll call it 2019. Since 2019, their mowing of lawns has been just spending time evaluating GMs, coaches, and quarterbacks and trying to figure that out. This offseason, they finally splurged. They finally said, let's just get the landscaping company. Let's let them do it. I'm going to take the 3 hours that I usually spend on Sundays mowing the lawn, and I'm going to fill in the blank. Finally get certified as whatever you want to get certified. I'm going to finish the Great American Novel. I'm going to coach the kids' baseball team. You finally get to use that time for good. On the Panthers side of it, it's like instead of deciding who's going to be our coach, I get to self-scout and scheme up how our wide receivers are going to be best. Instead of having to decide who our quarterback's going to be, I get to let that quarterback have the reins and take the players to wherever the offseason quarterback-led camp is going to be.
I know who to draft around him.
Oh, look, he needs a speed guy. I can go work on scouting Do I want Isaiah Bond? Do I want the Royals from Utah State? Whatever wide receiver you want that has some speed. Look at that. At this point last year, the head coach couldn't be scheming up for who they thought their quarterback was going to be or who their quarterback was because they didn't know who their quarterback was going to be and they didn't know who their coach would be. It's simply a calendar thing. This offseason, you have more time to focus on the little things, which should mean you have a higher percentage of getting the little things right. Dan Morgan was not grinding tape of fifth-round picks. He was interviewing, right? He was trying to figure out what his next step was going to be. He actually did pretty well in the fifth round with Shaw Smith-Wade, but you'd think there would be a better chance of doing very well in the fifth round this year with more time. And on top of that, like I said, there are 5 teams, and if you include the Patriots who did hire Vrabel, 6 teams that this offseason is going to be chaos for them like it's been chaos for the Panthers in the past. And then if you mix in the playoff teams, there's still 8 playoff teams, bunch more lost over the weekend. They haven't been as engaged in the offseason as you are, and they probably need to take, whenever their season ends, a week or 2 to recharge. You're ahead of them. There's like half the league right there that is at least should be expecting to not be as efficient this offseason as you are. Now, take advantage of it, right? Take advantage of it. Run through every scenario. I love that, and it's, Dennis, I like to think lovingly jokes, that I love mock draft season.
Oh, you do?
I do. Sometimes I think you're saying it like, look at this nerd, but I'm okay. I own up to it.
I have fun with it too. No, but you are like go all
exactly. In. I'm not denying the charges at all. I plead guilty. But my point is, run through every possible scenario in a mock. So, like, say you get an unexpected call for the 8th pick on a trade. You're not running to Brant Tillis like, Brant, what do we think about this? They're offering blah, 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 blah. Just walk over to Brant like, yep, scenario 37. I'm going to turn it down because we think we can get scenario 35 out of them. Click. Like,
break open this envelope.
yeah, exactly. All right. It's like a choose your own adventure, right? Trade with the Giants. Flip it over. They are interested in quarterback. All right, flip to page 37. It's going to be a no from me, Joe Shane. It's like that's how prepared you should be. Jokingly on like the actual have it written down. But run through like how you want to react to every potential situation. Last year, and I do love, speaking of being a nerd, all the behind-the-scenes footage we now get of drafts. Teams are putting out all like the war room after picks and everything, and the discussion that goes into trades. We did see them get calls, right? We did see them make moves up into the first round. Like when that's taking place, you should be better prepared for it this year than you've ever been because you have the alignment. You know who you're building around. I mean, you got to go back to like prime Cam, to when you had a GM, a head coach, and a quarterback and an owner that were just like all at least stable and going to be there for the next couple years.